Hey guys, Sophia here, My Great Challenge, back into my Frenchy and Tubby little operation going on here. I'm going to do a preview of what's coming up on Frenchy and Tubby this week. As always, well, I shouldn't say as always. We just started doing this 3 weeks ago. All the items I'm going to feature today will be dropped on the Esty Shop at 5 p.m. this Friday. And at the end of this video, I will feature another woman-owned business. So I hope you stick around and support another small business. Let me get started. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. One a day for me to wrap. And I'm going to start with kitchen. I'm always going to say this is really cool. Well, this is really cool. This is Gold Glade by Homer Laughlin, and this is a creamer and its companion sugar bowl. They are in super good condition, to be honest. Don't think they've ever used. Brown on the outside, super shiny. There is a little bit of a pattern here in the ceramic. I don't know if you see it. And then the glaze on the inside is this gold, brownish mustard color. Very popular in the 1970s. This is just about as 70s retro as it gets. And it is part of the Gold Glade collection by Homer Laughlin. And I'm going to put a picture right here of the original set of plates that came with it. And they had pretty much everything in that pattern you could find. The serving dishes, the tureen, the cookie jars, you name it. So this was actually done by a designer named Andre Ponche, and it was part of their Hearthside line. And if you remember, I had Hearthside type plates. People were moving away from fine bone china, and ceramic, heavy ceramic like this, came back to the picture. During the 30s, we had depression glass, so everything was kind of clear. And then in the 40s, the china came back with the starburst pattern, and Aladdin was one of the brands that was very popular in China. And then mid-60s and 70s would switch back to kind of like heavier pieces that didn't look as delicate, I suppose. And they came in all sorts of different colors. This one, definitely 1970s. Matter of fact, I think that my mother-in-law's original kitchen was those two colors. She had mustard-colored walls. And I'm going to put a picture right here of my kitchen in Normandy. And you can see that it was made in the 70s. It was that kind of colors. People were gravitating around the browns and the oranges and the yellow, groovy colors. So this is a sugar and a creamer. They are in excellent condition. Again, I don't think they were ever used. The bottom is not even damaged, scraped or anything. Really cool. So that's item number 1. Number 2, I'm staying in the stoneware type stuff, Otagiri. Otagiri, Japan, they make all sorts of really cool design, and you kind of recognize the pieces when you go to the thrift store or other people's places, because their overall background pattern always has this speckle in it, and this one is no exception. I have 5 of these mugs, 5 of them. Too bad it's not 6. I have 5. I thought about taking one out and doing it a set of 4, but I don't know, why not just sell the 5? So this is typical Otagiri, Japan. It's from the 70s, again with the brown. It's got like a southwestern, I would say, type pattern. It's there's 3 of those. It almost looks like a owl looking at you, but there's 3, so it's not. And it's a regular, 4-ounce coffee mug. It doesn't have the sticker from Otagiri or anything, but it's a beautiful glaze on it. I'm giving you a close-up so you can see what it looks like. I think they're really cool. It's not everybody's cup of coffee, I know that. Those kind of designs are really for people who love that kitsch and 60s, 70s stuff. Personally, I like smaller cups like this because I tend to never finish my coffee. So I have 5 of these Otagiri Japan late 60s, early 70s coffee mugs. Am I going to say they're really cool? I should. I think they are really cool. I like the design. Again, it's got this Southwestern type. It's a teal, not a turquoise, but it's a teal color with the brown over that grayish speckle. Very distinctive. Okay, next item on the subject of Southwestern. Okay, so if you watch my video where I'm doing my basement, you probably saw me take this thing off my shelf and say, you know what, let me just sell it. So this actually belongs to me. It belonged to Scott's grandmother, who was a fan of R.C. Gorman, and this is how we actually discovered each other as being very similar in taste, because she had an R.C. Gorman in a dining room, and that's the one that I have in my living room. And she has the book, and she went to the R.C. Gorman Museum a very long time ago during one of her trips and purchased that lithograph that's in my living room. Purchased the book and a bunch of smaller pieces that being distributed around, and she bought this tile, and on the back of it, it does have a little postcard that tells you a little bit about R.C. Gorman. I love his work, and I discovered him when I was in New York City. I was looking for a piece of art to put on my wall in my apartment, and I discovered this particular poster. And I had that on my wall for years, and then it got damaged trying to remove it to move to yet another apartment, because, you know, in New York we move a lot, always looking for something cheaper. So it got damaged. I tried to fix it, put it on a piece of foam core, and then I didn't do a good job, so I ended up ditching it. But I particularly like that one because it was one of the very few that he did where the sky actually had stars in it. And it's a beautiful print. It always does women, and either with horses, or they're seated in the desert, or they are seated with a Native American pot next to them. This one is no exception, but again, it's a tile. So you can do several things with it. It's got a regular frame thing, so you can just put it on the shelf as a display. It's a beautiful array of color. If you have a corner of your house that's kind of sad, grayish type looking, and you want to bring a little bit of color, look at all the colors that are in this. It's really pretty, and let me tell you, R.C. Gorman, look into him because his art is phenomenal. I really like his stuff, and I'm surprised that I like it because I usually tend to gravitate towards more traditional, classic pieces. This is very different, but then again, I like Southwestern stuff. So yeah, R.C. Gorman. So why am I letting go of it? Well, I'm decluttering, and I just don't know what to do with it. I mean, I've been displaying it for a very long time. Obviously, I take care of it because there's no chip or anything, and this thing's been moved, okay, quite a lot. Different houses, and all the way from Ohio to here, and then different rooms in the house. I would prefer a print, basically, than a tile. But you can have the tile frame if you want, and a lot of people do that. You can also put it on the wall if you want to. There's the little thing here. Well, actually, it's this one right here. If you want to put it on the wall. But anyway, it was mine. So if you want a piece of Sophia, it could be yours. It's really cool. It's so pretty. I'm almost having regrets. Listen, I gotta declutter, okay? We all know that. All right, when I come back, I'll show you 4 more items. Okay, this, you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? It's stainless steel. I will clean it, but there's a big story behind this. This is by Roberto Sambonet. And some of you may recognize the name, others probably never heard of him. In Italy. He's a modern designer of very fine, high-end household goods. And you know that I'm always on the Facebook Marketplace. And I was lucky to find a lady who was selling an entire box worth of Roberto Sambonet for an unbelievable price, and I grabbed it. And there was doubles in it, and one of the double was this coffee pot. So upstairs I have the large coffee pot, the smaller coffee pot, the large creamer, the smaller creamer, 3 teacups, 3 saucers, and 1 sugar bowl with its saucer. But this was extra, so I'm gonna sell it. It says Sambonet at the bottom. It's very heavy because it's, you know, heavy metal with the plating on it. But let me tell you, if you have a piece like this at home and you have people coming over and know about this artist, they're gonna immediately recognize it, and you're gonna get bonus points because this is super high-end, super expensive. So I'm not gonna put it for the price that they are worth. Way less affordable, but basically this teapot, brand new from the Sambonet store, is about $400 something. So one full set is about $2,000. So it's very expensive stuff, and I got lucky. I really did. So I'm selling the extra pot that I have. I will polish it, and you don't have to use it as a coffee pot. You clearly can just leave it open and put flowers in it if you want, or you can just display it. So many things you can do with this. It's Elite is the pattern for this. To me, it's very 80s and 90s, but it's a modern twist on a more 1920s Art Deco type handle, and it's a really, really nice piece. So it's a coffee pot, and by the way, you can also use that as a water pitcher or orange juice, you know, if you want to serve a fancy breakfast. So Roberto Sambonet, and everything I'm showing you will be cleaned and will be polished. And on the subject of polishing, okay, this is, according to everybody who's doing the thrifting and reselling, this is supposedly a white whale. Okay, and by white whale it means that it is super rare to find, and when people find one, they grab it immediately. It's brass, and it's a planter flower basket made entirely of brass, and it's a crane, not a swan, but a crane. So of course it's got a very Asian feel to it, not just with the circle, you know, if you think about the Japanese flag, but it also has the design itself is very Asian. So another thing that needs to be thoroughly cleaned, this is from the 70s again, and I'm going to polish it, and it's going to look fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So clearly this was sold as a flower basket, because you can see there's still a little bit of foam at the bottom, which I will remove and scrape off. You can do the exact same thing. You can put some of that florist foam at the bottom and have some fresh foliage, or you can put 2 flower pots in there, like an ivy for instance, and one taller one, and just put that on the table as a planter. It is quite heavy, I have to say, so you have to take that into consideration when it comes to shipping. But brass and brass animals are the thing right now. And I'm not sure how trends come about, but what I know is that I'm watching a lot of Instagram reels where, you know, for thrifters and resellers like I do, and anytime they see brass animals, or anything brass for that matter, they pick it up. People collect brass. Going back to this, they do collect brass animals. So you see horses, you'll see a lot of birds. One that people are looking for a lot, that's another white whale, would be the pheasants, a pair of brass pheasants. But I see people going crazy over elephants, giraffe, all sorts of animals, exotic animals made of brass. So this is really cool. I personally would keep it, but again, I can't keep everything. I say that in every video. I just can't keep everything. But this would look great in my decor. It really would look great in my decor. I'm having second thoughts, but I'm going to sell it. The next item, I've already spoke to you about this in another video, but this is small. This is Royal Dalton, and it's a candle holder. Put the candle right here, right? That matches Old Country Roses, which you know is my china. So it's in absolute perfect condition. This thing was never used. It needs to be cleaned. Obviously it was displayed, but the lady never put any candle in there because there's no wax, nothing. And the petals are intact. There's no breakage. It's going to be very difficult to pack, but I will pack it carefully and in hope nothing breaks. But this is what it looks like. And again, this is all fine bone china, and it's hand sculpted. They make each petal like you would make flowers to decorate a cake, right? You've seen the videos on how they do that. Same thing, except that they do them by hand. They fire it, and then they put the glaze, the color, and then they fire it again. So it's hand painted, handmade. These were very popular, and Capodimonte still does a lot of them. Hensley in England does a lot of them. It's very European, no doubt. Let me look at what's going on here. Is this broken? No, it's just a different color. Some people are not a fan of this kind of stuff. Personally, I think that this is the kind of knick-knack that you need to have more than one. You can't just have one. So if you already have one like this, you definitely want two. And if you want to start a collection, knock yourself out. So delicate, very fragile. Okay, I'm just saying, you know. And it's got the Royal Dalton stamp at the bottom. Okay, last piece I featured in another video, probably when I was redoing this room. Oh, this is a very heavy piece of pottery that I would totally keep, except that I don't know what to do with it. And one of the things that I really enjoy about thrifting is discovering things and people and artists and makers that I had never heard of before. This is by a studio potter named John Shed, and it was very popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. This particular vase right here, which is quite heavy, by the way, is from the mid-70s, and it's a flat vase. Isn't it unusual? It's a flat vase, so it's perfect for an entryway, for instance, if you have like a small console. And it's got a very narrow mouth. So what kind of foliage do you put in there? Palm. You can put palm. Anything that's flat. So you can put palm, you can put grass, you can put dry foliage, you can do eucalyptus, but I wouldn't do flowers unless you do like exotic flowers, but I wouldn't do roses, for instance, in this. The glaze and the work is amazing. First of all, he's got different textures going on here. I'm going to give you close-ups and maybe you can see. So he's got like that orange peel finish here, and then when he goes to the blue and sea foam, it's all shiny. All the texture is gone. It's abstract. It's not meant to look like anything in particular, but it's also totally different on the other side. It's the same concept, right? With two dots and a bar and what looks like a cloud over sand, but it's a little bit different on the other side. And the glaze goes all the way around, and of course it is signed John Shed at the bottom, and you can see that the person who had this particular vase was very careful with their tabletop and put a whole bunch of little foam pads to make sure that it wouldn't scratch the table. This is so unusual. It's the kind of piece that by itself strikes a conversation. I would definitely keep it. The problem is that it doesn't go with anything in my house. It's just not my style, but I love the whole pottery aspect of it. I love the shape. I love the glaze on it. He does fabulous work. He really does. It's just that it's not my style. It goes with nothing. Maybe the basement, but a piece like this you don't want to put in the basement. You want to be able to see it every day. So what a statement this thing would make in an entryway, right? If you have one of those nice foyer when people come in and, you know, like maybe you have like a chair and a little table, put that on there. Like a waiting room, right? Who has a waiting room? But anyway, if you have a nice foyer, and like me, you have like a real entryway with a table, what a statement. And you put a nice modern mirror behind it with some flat foliage fanning out, like a dried out palm or whatever, or even pampas. You know, the grass pampas would look good on it. And then a couple of things in the front. It's just, I'm going to say it's a conversation piece is what it is. Okay. So all of these items are going to be on my Etsy shop Friday at 5 p.m. And if you see something, stay behind your keyboard. If you see something that you want, stay behind your keyboard and be ready, because chances are they'll fly off the shelf and you'll miss out. And for those ladies who missed out on stuff last week, I'm really sorry. I know that some of you were disappointed that the little blue-green bowl was snatched before you even got a chance. But I have a lot of you who are collectors and really enjoy unusual pieces and beautiful pieces. Trust that I will continue to look for very similar items, including the teacups, because those were like gone in 10 minutes. I'm emptying my shelves to the point where I'm almost ready to go back to the thrift store. I still have some items. So that's it. That's what's coming up this week at 5 p.m. on Friday on Frenchy and Tubby. And when I come back, I'm going to feature yet another women-owned business. So this is a lady that I featured in the past in other videos, and I believe I did a giveaway for some of her stuff. And I have to tell you, not only am I a fan, but now Mom is a fan too. Okay, we're talking about Joan, and Joan is in Florida and used to be a EMS dispatcher. She's now making two things. She has two shops. She has Joanns Country Crafts, and I'm going to put you know, the website right here. And she does really cute jewelry, and it's always very themed. So right now the specialty, of course, is going to be Halloween, and then she's going to move into the Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then the Christmas, and then it's going to be the next holiday with the hearts, and then the Easter bunny and whatnot. But she makes jewelry. She makes those little, and if you remember, I had the little brooches with the dragonflies on it. I still have them. And she makes pens. I call them bubble pens. And I have to tell you, those pens, matter of fact, hold on. One of them is right here. I love her pens. I really do. So she just assembles the pens together, and they come with refills. You just twist them to open, okay, and close them. And they have different balls. So you can have any kind of ball you want. If you're a fan of the Yankees, she'll have Yankee balls. If you're a fan of everything Barbie, she'll have the pink with the glitter. She has some of them with little charms dangling. They are the cutest, but they are also very good pens. That's the thing. You want to make sure that you get refills with it. They do last quite some time, but you like the pen so much that you don't want to lose the pen. You want refills for it. They have a good balance. I personally like a pen that kind of has weight to it. It helps me with my penmanship. That's just me. I don't know about you, but I like a heavy pen, and I write pretty bold too. So she does the pens and she does the jewelry, and I'm showing that to you on the screen. But she also has another one that's called Be Sensible Soap Company, and she makes goat's milk soap. And I have to say that I am rationing myself. Joan, I have one left. Remember, I got a whole bunch before I went to France in May. I gave one to Mom, and Mom is using hers and is also rationing herself. Her goat's milk soap are some of the best goat's milk soap I've ever had. Sometimes you buy a soap from XYZ shop that's goat's milk, they're natural soap, but the way they made, they don't last. They foam too much, and they get really soggy in your shower, and then you lose your soap. Within 2 weeks you're done. Her soaps are so dense. They are almost like the French Savon Marseille. It's a totally different way of making them, but in terms of the texture and the longevity of the soap, these soaps last forever. And if you have, like me, super sensitive skin and you've developed a ton of allergies, I can't have SLS anymore. I can't have fragrances anymore unless it's totally 100% essential oil. I can't wear anything that's chemical compounds or chemical fragrance. It gives me allergies and headaches. It's terrible. I've developed all those allergies. But now when it comes to commercial products like the Bath and Body Works, for instance, you remember I used to have like pretty much every flavor of those. I can't use that on my skin anymore. I break up in rashes. I also have psoriasis now that I'm entirely controlling through diet, eliminating all sorts of inflammatory food, and it's made a huge difference. But if I want to moisturize my skin, what do? Goat's milk is your answer. Goat's milk is the closest to human milk. And you're gonna say, well, that's gross. Back in the days, okay, when a baby needed to be nursed and there was no wet nurse around, and Mom may have passed during child labor, they used goat's milk because it's the closest to human breast milk. So it is very close to us in terms of its texture and in terms of its nutrients and in terms of its composition. It is super, super moisturizing. You can use goat's milk on your body, on your face. You can use it to remove makeup. You can use it at your sink just to wash your hands. If you want to if you want to keep natural nails and you want to try to not keep them dry, and like mine are just, pretty much dead at this point. But that's my fault because I had, polygel on a couple of weeks ago. Use that. Goat's milk, awesome product. And Joan makes really, really good soap. Now, I'm not just saying that because she's a subscriber to my channel and has done giveaway with us, and I love her pens and whatnot. I'm telling you, I've tried so many goat milk products and so many goat milk soap over the past 3 years because I'm always looking for the one soap that's going to be my forever soap, and this is it. So Joan, I'm telling you right now, I only have one left, so expect a order from me pretty soon. The one I have in the shower right now is about this big, and I have one left in its package. So support a small business. This is a lady who works very hard. There's a lady who constantly comes up with new designs for her pens and her pins and other pieces of jewelry that she makes. They're very whimsy, they're very cute. She does paper clips, you know, if you're into journal and you do planners, you're a planner girl. Paper clips with little dangles, all sorts of things. She's very talented and she deserves to have you go to her shop and support her small business. So if you're in Florida and you want to support another Floridian woman-owned business, check out Be Sensible Soap Company and Joanns Country Crafts. Give Joan a boost. Go check out her 2, not just 1, but 2 Esty shops. She's been very busy. If you want to buy a pen like my pen or a little pin, jewelry pin, and check out the goat's milk soap. So that was me plugging in another women-owned business, and that one is from Florida. So now next week I have a feature that's a lady who's from Scotland, and she makes beaded jewelry by hand. You know, like the little beads, like we used to make bracelets when we were little girls. Did you make those? I know I did. When she contacted me and she gave me a website, I saw a piece of jewelry on the website. I was just like, there was only one left, and I claimed it. So I'm hoping, she already shipped it to me. I'm hoping, I pay for it. I'm just saying, you know, okay, this is not like a freebie or anything. I actually bought the necklace. So next week you'll see me wear a necklace that she made, and I'll tell you all about her shop and the little beaded jewelry that she makes. And she's super talented and out of Scotland. So yay for women-owned businesses. I'm here to support you. I'm here to give you exposure, and I sure hope that those of you who are watching this channel will go check out all of these ladies' website. Thank you for watching. Again, all of this stuff will be on the website at 5 p.m. on Friday. And if I was to keep anything in here, I like to do that at the end of each video. Which one would I keep? Well, I mean, obviously I would keep this, okay? And I'm telling you, I'm gonna sell it, but if by any chance I come across another one, that one will be for me, okay? But this one I'm selling. I would keep that. The teapot, the coffee pot, I don't have to keep it because I have 2 upstairs. And I was going to say the large vase, but I don't think I would actually keep it. I would keep this because it matches my china. So these are the 2 items I would keep. I hope you enjoyed this little chit chat and video. I enjoy doing this, you know, I enjoy talking about stuff, and I like to share my stuff with you. And I want you to comment down below and let me know if you want me to take you thrifting. I know that I've done those videos in the past. They are kind of popular, but I don't want to alienate anybody. So if you want to do a come thrift with me once a month maybe, you comment down below and you let me know. All the links for the shops I've just talked about, the 2 shops from Joann's, are also in the description box. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner, and check out Frenchy and Tubby on Etsy. The link is right here and down below. And again, Friday 5 p.m. big drop for all of these items. I have a feeling that the keyboards are going to be smoking on Friday. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.